I'm so sick and fucking tired of hearing about privilege. Privilege isn't being white, bonehead. Privilege is living in government housing and calling people oppressors while they pay your fucking bills. Get it? I'm done pretending that any of this bullshit makes sense. You want to talk about privilege? You want to talk about real privilege? Real privilege is wearing $200 sneakers when you haven't worked a day in your life. Privilege is walking around with $300 Beats headphones while you're living on fucking food stamps, while you're on public assistance, and it's paid for by people who wake up and grind every day. Privilege is having the latest smartphone with unlimited data and having zero idea where the bill goes because somebody else is always picking up the tab. Privilege is being able to protest every little thing that offends you without worrying about calling in sick to work because you don't have a fucking job. Privilege is being able to cheat, lie, fail over and over again in life and still get bailed out while people who play by the rules get punished. That's privilege. This isn't about race. This isn't about class. This is about accountability. We've got a culture that rewards victimhood and demonizes work ethic and responsibility. Meanwhile, the people holding everything together for the rest of society, they get taxed into the fucking ground. Their businesses get choked by regulation, and they get personally vilified for speaking up and saying that this is bullshit. You want to talk about privilege? Then start with the people who've never paid the price, but who also scream the loudest. Because they've never had to build anything. They've never had to defend anything. They've never had to carry any real weight. And the reason they get away with it? It's because we don't live in a society of strong men anymore. No. That's been dismantled on purpose over the last 50 years. Because a society of strong men would never put up with any of this bullshit.
Welcome on another episode, family. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you're joining for the very first time, thank you as well for clicking on this video. Please take about a second to click the like button. It will help others to see this video and join in this conversation as well. There is a white man who is rich coming online talking about how he is so sick of hearing say white privilege because they basically have no privilege because it seems like they are working and black people are benefiting from it. He made examples of, people who haven't done a job in their life, but they are able to afford expensive sneakers, expensive beats, and then, come outside to shout and call them oppressors. And you guys, from what he is saying, you can tell that he is referring to a certain group of people, but with the video and what I'm able to get from his video is that this man clearly did not check the statistics. And it's so funny because there are so many of his people stitching duets into his video, stating facts, saying, yes, he nailed it, he did this, oh, this is music to our ears. You guys are going to see it on the screen. And you guys, I want you to see what people are saying about the video, and then we will come back and talk about it.
I'm so sick and fucking tired of hearing about privilege. Privilege isn't being white, bone.
How you doing? I know you want to. I know you want to assume that, people of color, are lazy, and you want to have a preconceived notion that all of us walk around with $200 tennis shoes and we beg for them, or we have the latest phones, with all of the, different things and all the different financial things that we have begged for. So you say we've never begged for anything. Many of us do have the shoes and the phones, and we actually have the degrees to match. And some of us protest the atrocities because we clearly see a double standard. Now, I do get what you're saying as far as people working to earn their keep. And there are many of us, we were told to pursue the American dream, and we were told to go to college and make sure that we make something of ourselves. So as I'm sitting here in one of my offices, what amazes me is that you have a preconceived notion that when someone says privilege, that it is a black thing, which that's really not the case, because if you look statistically after the Great Depression all the way up here until 2025, you will clearly understand that the majority of people that have been on SNAP, Medicaid, welfare, and so on, they basically have not been people who are screaming privilege. They have been Caucasian people who've been draining the system. Now, if we could look at the actual statistics, we understand that since the inception of food stamps, welfare, SNAP, WIC, Medicaid, Medicare, that has not been completely fulfilling the needs of people of color, but it has actually been Caucasian people. Now, I do agree with you that there are some people who walk around and they march and things of that nature because they cry and complain. I do agree there are a bunch of lazy black people, and there's a bunch of lazy white people as well. But if we look at the actual statistics, you don't have a dog in that fight. Now, if we look at the realities of privilege and you say what privilege is, now, when we say privilege, we're talking about authority figures. that actually unalive people who look like me and they're never charged or convicted. When we talk about privilege, we're told that we're supposed to go to school and obtain an education, and we're told to do certain things in life, and that, it's the American way. But when we do try to walk into those doors, there are people that step in front of us. For instance, if I go to interview to be a CEO of a major company, chances are that I'm overqualified for the position. But just when they're about to offer me the position, here comes Elmer, who's friends with the vice president or who has a cousin that works in the mailroom, and they'll give the position to Elmer. Privilege is having a bunch of people that are on the cabinet that do not have the educational pedigree to back up the decisions that they're making right now. Privilege is when someone looks at me and they automatically assume that I'm a hooligan or some type of fool or some type of criminal, and then when they look at you, they automatically think that you're a good, stand-up, clean, wholesome American. Privilege is when you and I walk into a building and we have on matching suits and we carry matching briefcases. And when you walk in, they shake your hand. But when I walk in, security has to double check me. Privilege is when you and I are going to different places. And as we're walking downtown, that they look at you and they say nothing. But when I pass by their car, they lock the door. So privilege is not just about the shoes and the welfare and the food stamps, but there's a lot of things that you, have been privileged to deal with, because I'm going to give you one little thing before I end this little ditty. For a person of color, I have numerous people that are coming after me. Now, am I participating in the American dream? Yes, I am. But I have Proud Boys coming after me. I've got Aryan Nation. I've got skinheads. I've got a whole bunch of people, KKK, that come after me because you have no predators after you. People who are privileged don't have organizations that were made to come for them. People who are privileged don't have predators coming to put their knee on their neck. People that are privileged do not have a system that is systemically created to stop them from getting to where they need to go. So the next time you want to throw that out and say that everybody can obtain the American dream, I need you to think about all the racist business owners and all the racist people that have stopped people of color, and also go back to your ancestors and ask them the question, why did you all formulate an entire system to keep people who look like this down? That's what privilege is.
Privilege isn't being white, bonehead. Privilege is living in government housing and
Y'all keep saying why or asking why so many black people are on food stamps and on housing, but you never ask how the system made it that way. Come, let's talk. If you're ready for real history, right? Not sugar-coated lies. Buckle up. Let's go for a ride. Okay, first off, y'all, let's go all the way back. Okay, black people in this country were enslaved for 246 years. That's almost 12 generations of free labor, while white folks built wealth off our backs. Land, we couldn't own it. Money, we didn't get paid. Education, illegal. So when slavery ended, black folks had nothing. White families passed down land, homes, business. You know what we passed down? Trauma and survival. Thank you. After slavery, it did not get any better, okay? Black people were terrorized. Black people were lynched and locked out of jobs and schools during Jim Crow. Then comes the redlining. The U.S. government told banks to not give loans in black neighborhoods. You couldn't buy a house. You couldn't build wealth. You couldn't leave the hood, even if you had money. Thank you. Meanwhile, white vets got the GI Bill, free school, home loans, the whole setup. Black vets, blocked. That's white privilege. Now we're going to take it to today's world, okay? Because now the racist systems have just rebranded, right? Black schools are still underfunded. Black folks still get paid less. We're definitely over-policed, over-incarcerated, and pushed out of our own neighborhoods. Thank you. Okay? And we can really go, okay? And let's be real, even when we do go to college and we work hard, we're still paid less, promoted less, and we're still told to work harder. Thank you. So, Mister, I want to ask you, what happens when a whole group of people gets denied money, land, jobs, education, and healthcare for 400 years? Do you think they just bounce back? Nah. Government assistance became the only option for a lot of black families. Thank you. And no, it's not because we're lazy. It's because we're locked out of literally every other way to survive. No shade. The next time somebody says, why do black people need food stamps? I need you to tell them because America never gave us what we were owed in the first place. We built wealth. We just never got to keep it. That is what systematic oppression looks like. So, motherfucker, I'm going to need you to share this shit. Stitch it. Comment if you need to, because I'm tired of people ignoring the real history. So let's get this truth to every corner of TikTok. Thank you, because this just definitely pissing me the fuck off. Calm down, please.
exactly why they came after us first.
You see that nonsense?
Tired of hearing about privilege? Privilege isn't being white.
No one said it is. It's like saying all angry white men have the skin of a hot dog. They don't all, but some of them look like they're hot dog skinned.
Get it? Privilege is living in government housing and calling people oppressors while they pay your bills. Get it? Wearing $200 sneakers when you haven't worked a day in your life. Walking around with $300 Beats headphones while you're living on food stamps. While you're on public assistance. And it's paid for by people who wake up and grind every day. Privilege.
You were upset about so many things. I took notes.
And it's paid for by people who wake up and grind every day.
The first thing you're upset about is probably the use of privilege. You don't know what the word means, and you kind of went off the rails there with that. You're kind of framing it as getting something for nothing, and that's not what privilege means. An unearned advantage from societal structures. Who set up those systems? Scooby-Doo mask, it was white men. Every time. You also did this really specific thing where you brought up sneakers and expensive headphones and started off with white privilege, but didn't seem to mention race. You just inferred weird stuff throughout the rest of your video. I could tell by how many cuts you did.
Privilege is having the latest smartphone with unlimited data and having zero idea where the bill goes because somebody else is always picking up the tab.
Oh, you are not going to like this math. The largest count by race that gets government assistance between SNAP and Medicaid is 43% there, boss. So maybe start asking your brethren down at the frayed hat store.
Privilege is being able to cheat, lie, fail over and over again in life and still get bailed out while people who play by the rules get punished. That's privilege. This isn't about race. This isn't about class.
Except for that being exactly what it's about. I don't know if you understand, but you literally just complained at the person that you see as beneath you for getting things for free and the people above you as working harder. That's classes, brother. Those are classes, okay? And you think that there's this upper echelon and then this one for hard-working Americans that deserve it. That's what you think you're in. And then these people who are on government assistance and receiving benefits that we pay for with our taxes. But I digress. You're a white man in America. They didn't take anything from you. You still have that tiny shirt you're wearing. You still have that land you stand on. And the irony of this entire thing is you just don't respect the fight of others. I can tell you because you said this.
Privilege is being able to protest every little thing that offends you without worrying about calling in sick to work.
And then you immediately followed it with this.
They've never had to build anything. They've never had to defend anything. They've never had to carry any real weight.
You just don't respect my fight, and you don't realize that you've become your own enemy. Fucking white people.
This is about accountability.
Oh, and you're not a victim. Relax. I was gonna say something funny here, but honestly, go to my Substack.
What do you guys think of the white man's video? Because, he said he's sick of people saying that or calling them privileged because he thinks that people mean, or in this context, that people mean that, your life has to be easy because you are white. And he is saying it as if, people call them privileged because they see them as people who has never struggled. People call them privileged mostly because of the color of their skin, because there are so many things that they get past just because of the color of their skin. And it is what it is. They can go and question history. This is what has been going on for years. Because privilege in this case is that your skin color isn't one of the things that is making your life harder. It means that you do not walk into the store and you get followed. It means that you do not worry about being pulled over and probably not making it home to your family. It means that you don't get thrown out of, job application even before you get interviewed. This is the privilege that people are talking about. They do not say that they have never struggled before, but yes, this privilege exists. Whether he likes it or not, this privilege does exist. Because he is out there confusing, social support with privilege. That's basically what he is doing in his video. Because literally, he's pointing to poverty, government housing, food stamp, as if it is that advantage that he's making it seem like. Because so far so good, I do not think there is privilege in poverty. And we don't even need to be acting brand new. Because when he said these people are putting on sneakers worth $300 without having to pick a job in their life, we know that he is talking about black people, and that is basically giving dog whistle. And according to what I saw and statistics online, it seems like his own people are the people who actually benefit the most from these food stamps. And yes, you had that right, because I think there is the man and the stitch as well brought that up, that his people benefit the most from this food stamp. Like, put out the statistics, your people benefit the most from it. Because yes, not only that, in general, white people benefit the most from welfare programs than black people. And it's just so tiring when they come online to act like it is black people who benefit the most from all of these things. Same thing as DEI, if you guys remember. Because of the media portrayal and because of racism, they have somehow just associate, poverty with blackness and blame the victim of the system that was built against them. He is implying that, black people, black Americans are enjoying the work of white people after we know for years that America is built on the back of these people for free. These people work for that country, for that land for free. Another creator in that stage brought that particular point up, which is freaking true. 12 generation down for free. Generations of, labor, wealth, land, all of these things were stolen from Black Americans. I do not think this is even like new. These things were stolen from Black Americans to create economic, foundation that so many of these white Americans now benefit from today. So if they are bringing up the, talk of who paid what, he needs to open book and check the statistics as well before coming online, and targeting a certain group of people as if they are working for them and they are enjoying. Because this same community you are dragging that you are working for free, they were redlined out of home ownership. They were denied the GI bills and locked out of generational wealth. I feel like this is a public knowledge as well. While on the other hand, these palm-colored families were building legacy from system that has been built and made to benefit them. So yes, privilege is not about food stamps and shoes, because that is what this man is, trying to sound like. It's not about food stamps and it's not about shoes. Yes, both people in all races have lazy people and hardworking people, but let's not come online to act as if Black people are lazy, even though that is what they always say. And his point, I do not even think his point is new at all. He sounded like a recycled rhetoric that is meant to distract people from the real issue that is currently going on. Because if you are more upset about a Black person buying, shoes than about the system that made poverty generational, you are not mad about inequality. You are basically just saying you're mad at Black existence. I really want to hear what you guys think about this man's video, because he said he's sick and tired. He was going on and on and on, and his people were duetting, saying he didn't tell a lie. Everything he said is like a music to our ears. He didn't say any, lies. Let me hear what you guys think about this man's video, because like I said, everything he said is not something new. I feel like it's just a recycled rhetoric, so it's not something new. But I want to hear what you guys think about what this man said in the comment section, and I am going to see you guys in the next one.